In March 2010, Mike debuted with his Take 3 EP, followed up with an acclaimed album 6 and 4 in June 2010, and is currently working on a full-length album due this fall. Here to talk about his journey through what can only be described as an eclectic musical style and armed with a curiously formidable mustache is Mike McMoneagle. We have to acknowledge any facial hair that comes on in transitions, I hope you're aware.
And of course your long brown mane emanating from the headphones he has on now. We could describe this for the audience.
I could probably describe it for you. A buddy of mine told me about 3 weeks ago in the midst of a beer pong game. He looked at me and said, "You kind of look like Jesus and a lion and a gnome." And I think that kind of sums it up the best for it.
Jesus and lion and gnomes.
Oh my.
My.
Oh my. Yep.
God. Mike, let's talk about your 2 years that you spent living in Arlington, Virginia.
Okay.
And you wrote extensively about the experience that runs along themes of homesickness, heartache, and hope. Very, very close to my heart.
Okay.
How did this experience come to shape the way you approach writing your music?
You know, it was, I think, a very good thing to not be playing music out anywhere for a while. Made me kind of think a lot about what I was actually trying to do. I played at a couple of mic nights down in the area. A typical would be like, you know, a recognizable cover song, a song I wrote, and a non-recognizable cover song that I would claim to be my own. But so that was kind of like what I'll do. And
So you lied.
oh yeah,
Let's put all the cards out on the table here. You lied.
yeah. Well, you guys lied. I don't even have a mustache. This is.
All
But
right, we're
anyway, yeah. So it was just a period. I had great friends down there. I moved down there for a job. Got laid off. Found myself bartending, waiting tables, which was actually kind of conducive to writing because I had, you know, I would work one day and not the next 2 days. So I had a lot of time in my hands. Didn't really have too many friends that were on the same schedule as myself. So the result of that was a lot of time to write songs and think about stuff and write songs. And yeah. So it's kind of I tried to use it all to my advantage, and I guess it kind of worked out. Maybe.
So you spent some time unemployed down in Arlington?
I had a good couple weeks unemployed. Yeah.
Was that something that was useful to kind of garner and write your music for? Or is it something you were like, man, I need a job, I need to get paid?
I got laid off on a Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I was driving to Dewey Beach and going to see a show, the Avett Brothers actually. But yeah, no, it was the kind of thing where I kind of just didn't really think much about it, and it was actually a pretty. My mom recently mentioned this to me. Following getting laid off and talking about the whole like, what are you gonna do with your job? What are you gonna do with your life? And all these other questions that don't really have answers to in any circumstance. But I thought about it and I called him back. I said, you know what? I'm gonna write some songs and work at a bar and try to feel this whole music thing out. I'd rather be 40 and have screwed up tremendously than to be 40 and not tried it at all. And she recently told me, you know, in the wake of some, you know, done some cool stuff lately at home playing music, and she basically told me that was like the most assertive statement I've ever made in my life to her. So, and I didn't think twice about it. It was just me being like probably drunk, being like, "Mom, I'm not gonna work anymore. I'm gonna play music." And next thing you know, it kind of worked out. So.
We talked a lot about transitions on the show, and a lot of it has to do with moving.
Yeah, I don't really know why we do, but
I don't know,
it
God.
happens to go that way.
But a lot of our audience is graduating from college, going into graduate school, going on to start careers, and sometimes they kind of get lost and they say, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? Now, in your case, it may have been fortuitous that you got laid off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the experience at first is probably like, oh my God, this sucks. But then it kind of works out. Is there any kind of tips that you would give somebody that is kind of stuck in a dead-end job and is saying, you know, what can I do?
On a very basic level, don't quit your job. It's so much easier to get a job when you're employed than unemployed. Even if you hate it, just do it. It's money. But beyond that, you know, we're too young to be hopeless. Seriously, I mean, I'm only 25 years old. There's no reason to be down and out about anything. I mean, obviously, the hurdles come your way and you deal with them, but for the most part, you definitely just gotta find whatever it is that makes you happy and look at your terrible job as a means to a better end. If that means you work 8 hours of terribleness and go home and do the thing you love, at least you get a chance to do that at the end of the day. So.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike McGonigal!
every light in the house, one by one. Let that moon shine through like midnight sun. I ain't saying you have to go home, I just know you can't stay here. I got dreams to make, got no time for mistakes. Pass that bottle this way, I could use some love tonight. Dance around that fire like it never felt so right. Won't you sympathize with my angle? Babe, I wish you could stay here. I got risks to take, got no time for debate. Count to 100 every time you think of me. Teach yourself how to forget about things that cannot be. Hear that clock that keeps on ticking. It might stop if you stay here. We've got hearts that break, no time for to fake. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Mike McMonagle from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Happy to be here. Got a couple of things coming up if you're from that side of the area. Harrisburg, Lancaster area. I'll be at the Stage on Her at the Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center this coming Saturday.